G'day guys, it's Pete here from Clinic Mastery, and today we're talking about a skin check for your business. Now, the reason we're talking about this today is because earlier this week I had a skin check and I had a spot on my nose that we had to get zapped off because it was a precursor to potentially being a skin cancer. And it got me thinking, right? We often make decisions in the short term that have long-term consequences, but because we can't see the impact of those consequences in the short term, we continue to make, we could call bad decisions. For me, going out in the sun with not wearing a hat or not wearing sun cream led to this happening because each time it didn't feel like a big deal until the moment where it was, the moment where we had to do something about it. And it's not just having to have a little bit of a scab on my nose for a couple of weeks here after it got zapped off, but it's also thinking about what are those long-term consequences from the decisions that we make continuously in our life, and today specifically in our business and in our clinics. Now, before we go any further, please make sure that you do like and subscribe. It helps us to reach more people and to have a bigger impact. Now, thank you very much for doing that, by the way. Today, what I'd love to go through is, some questions. Some questions for a way to audit your clinic. Think of this like a skin check for your clinic, checking where you are, a bit of a temperature check. What is going on? Because often we will make short-term decisions because the long-term consequences could be so far away. But if we continue to make those decisions, eventually we will have the repercussion or the consequence of those actions. So today I'm going to go through this and I'm going to jump into it now. What I've got are 5 key areas. Now, the key areas are client acquisition and retention. I've got a few notes in the background here if you're wondering what I'm looking at. I can't remember everything all the time. Client acquisition and retention, financial systems for profitability and sustainability, team, culture, cohesion, adapting to industry changes, so understanding what's coming, and the clinic vision and strategic plan. So, number 1, and you can write these down if you'd like, please do play along at home, and each like subheading, I guess we'll call them, has a few questions underneath, 3 questions under each of them. So number 1, how effective are our current client acquisition and retention strategies? We want to understand how effective is this currently? And this is important, and be really honest with yourself. For current client acquisition, how effective is it? And retention. Now, underneath this, we also want to ask, are we attracting the right type of clients for our services and for our team? It is infinitely easier to hire great team members when you have a great client base. When people come in who are the right type of clients for the team members that you want to pull in. An example here, if you're a physiotherapist, and let's say you have a sports physio clinic and you want to attract experienced sports physios, if you can show them that you have some really interesting clients coming in, maybe high-level athletes, they're much more likely to want to work there because they want to work with those clients. The next question underneath this is, what is our current client retention rate and how can it be improved? So rather than just looking at the acquisition, we also want to look at retention. So what is the specific percentage of retention rate and how can we improve it? If over the next 12 months, we were going to have a better retention rate percentage of clients, what would that look like and how would we do it? Next up, how satisfied are our clients with their experience and what feedback have we gathered to support this? Okay, so we want to know, do people love the experience when they come to see us? And is this an assumption or are we actually gathering data? I like this question because it helps us to think, well, what are we actively doing to understand what people really think? Okay, so jot that one down. Fantastic one, because client experience is huge, so big in what we do. Now, the second one, are our financial systems optimized for profitability and sustainability? Because we need to run a profitable clinic in order to A, not feel stressed all the time, to B, be able to get some sleep at night, C, to actually be able to support our friends, our family, and to be able to pay our team well and to be able to have pathways and opportunities for them moving forwards. And 4, just to keep the doors open, the lights on. It doesn't get cheaper each year, a little bit more expensive. So, are our financial systems optimized for profitability and sustainability? Now, the key questions that I have underneath this are, do we have a clear understanding of our revenue streams and expenses? So where does income come from? And how clear are we on this? And do we know where our focus is? So what I have is, these are our revenue streams. You may have 4 revenue streams. What I would do is I would write down what percentage of your total revenue are each of these, and then what percentage of your total time or capital investment is it attributed to each of these. Because what you sometimes find is something that is a 10% revenue generation may have 40% of your time or capital investment going into that. Now, it may be that in the future, that's going to be going really well. That's something that you're banking on, that you're building. But it also could be that, hey, you're putting too much time, too much capital, too much resources into this small area of the business. And maybe you should be reallocating that to a larger area of the business and potentially even cutting that. What is our break-even point, and are we consistently operating above it? Now, if you've got a rolling break-even spreadsheet, this one's nice and easy to do. You want to make sure, obviously, that we are understanding exactly what our break-even point is, and we are always operating above that. You will also need a solid budget in place to do this, because some expenses will pop up at different times of the year. It's not always going to be smoothed out and amortized. And how can we reduce unnecessary costs without compromising on the quality of care? So, key thing here, without compromising on the quality of care. So we don't want to just cut things and go, all right, we can save 100 grand a year here, but the client experience gets worse. It's where are we spending money that we don't need to be spending money, that isn't actually adding any value. Okay. A few things to think about with that one. And really go through with a fine tooth comb, get in that P&L, go into every line item, click into every line. If you're using Xero, click into every line item, see what everything is. Where is the money going? And how is it impacting the quality of client care or the team member experience? Now, the third category, the third big question, is our team functioning efficiently and cohesively? Okay, be really, really specific with this one here and actually reflect on this. What I would do is give yourself a mark 1 to 10, 10 being the most efficient and cohesive team ever, and 1 being they hate working together. It's very dysfunctional. So put where you are now. All right. Now you might be a 7 now. Now, right underneath that, what does that specifically look like? And then what does a 10 look like? So now you can see where you are and where you want to be. Now, this is the gap. This is the opportunity. So you can actually start to go, well, how can we improve team cohesiveness, and efficiency by picking out specific things from the gap and implementing them in a strategic plan. It sounds simple when you say it like that, but literally doing that exercise will make a huge difference. Now, questions under this. Do we have the right mix of skills and expertise among our team? Okay, now this isn't just a yes, no. It's if yes, what are we strong in? If no, what are we weak in? So understand how the right mix of skills and expertise is amongst your team. The second one, how effective is communication and collaboration within your team? Again, 1 to 10 it. Where are you? Specifically map out what is that. And then 10, what does that look like? What is the gap? And then you can pick a few of those things to be working on with your team. Fantastic. And what professional development opportunities are we providing to support our team's growth? Now, you can look at individuals here, and you can also look at as a full team, okay? And it may be even split up. You might say, this is our admin team, and this is our practitioner team, and this is how we support the growth and development of each of these areas of the team. Okay, so really clearly map that out. What are you doing? How are you providing those growth opportunities? The fourth one, how well are we adapting to industry changes and regulations? Now, big one here at the moment, the NDIS, if you're in Australia, we are seeing some big, big changes. Now, what's it today? The 16th of November. Over the past 6 weeks, we have seen some drastic changes and some crazy numbers coming in different areas of plans being completely cut, people being taken off the NDIS, and it's happening, faster and faster now. And what we're seeing, and what they said is the new NDIS will not look anything like the old NDIS that we had. So we need to be all across what is happening in the NDIS environment. Now, this is just one example. We can look at all of the different areas, but I'd say this is the most pressing at the moment for anyone working in the NDIS. You need to be across the changes that are coming in. You need to understand how it impacts your clients. And for clients who are no longer going to be on the NDIS, what can you offer them? Be ready ahead of time. You don't want to be reactive here. You want to have, these are the different packages, or these are the different options for people who have no plan anymore. These are the different packages and options we have for people who have a plan, but less funding in that plan for those supports. And for people that are maintaining what they're doing, having the plan in place there for let's continue with what we're doing there. So being across that. Now, there are lots of things outside of our control there. Focus on what you do control. Are we fully compliant with current healthcare regulations and standards? So just reviewing, are there any parts of your business, your clinic, that are not compliant? Are there certain things that maybe online, maybe your advertising or how you're doing different things online could potentially not be complying with healthcare regulations? So just making sure that everything is compliant, and you can do that every 6 to 12 months. How are you preparing for the upcoming changes that may affect your clinic with any new regulations, laws, etc., that are coming in? So understanding that too. And it may also be considering what is happening in the financial environment. You might be looking at going over the past maybe 18 months now. In Australia, probably all over the world, actually, we've seen an increase in the cost of living. And for a lot of clinics, they feel like that has then impacted their ability to generate new clients. For some clinics, they've had more new clients than ever because they've thought ahead and they've created a plan to go, who benefits from interest rates going up? Who is negatively impacted, but who benefits from this? How can we market to them more? Because those people are more likely to come in for the appointments, because when interest rates go up, they've actually got more money than ever. So rather than go, this is terrible, this is a really hard environment to work in, go, how can we actually work with those external factors that we don't control, but we can work with them? Okay, so rather than trying to swim against the stream, go with the stream. What strategies are in place to mitigate risks associated with the regulatory changes? So making sure that if there are any regulatory changes coming in, that you have strategies in place to mitigate those risks. Okay. Now, 5, is our clinic's vision and strategic plan clearly defined and being implemented? And again, come back to the 1 to 10 here. 1 being we don't have a strategic plan, we don't have a clear vision, and we're not implementing it. 10, map out what a 10 is. What is a 10 for this? And then where are you? What does that look like? And again, the gap. What are those key things that we can do? And for most clinics, I'd say getting clear on the vision, actually understanding where do you want to be in 3 to 5 years' time, and not saying, and I hear this too often, I have no idea where I want to be in 3 to 5 years' time. Okay. But I can guarantee you know where you don't want to be. So write down where you don't want to be, and then look at what is the opposite to that. And that'll help you to use some inverse thinking to start creating that vision and that, well, the goals for the 3 to 5 year strategic plan. And then look at how can you be implementing it. Have some accountability with this one. Have a meeting, like a board meeting or a meeting, sorry, with the leaders within your team every 3 months. Okay. Have an update every month with the team. Keep yourself accountable using what you already have there. And you can use a team like Clinic Mastery. We can help you with this. We can keep you accountable. We can help you create the plan. We can help you to avoid all the pitfalls and to achieve your goals. For a lot of clinic owners, if you look at 2024 and where you are right now, okay, are you where you wanted to be coming into the end of 2024? And what is the opportunity cost? What does it cost you? What is the gap? Where are you now? Where did you want to be? What is that gap? It may be time to actually go, let's invest in working with some experts in the field. I hate calling myself an expert, with people who have done it before, okay? Invest with people who've done it before, who help clinic owners. See, the thing is, we're not experts or gurus or anything like that. We're clinic owners who help people to create systems and structures and frameworks that help them to avoid the pitfalls, avoid the traps, and to accelerate their growth towards their goals. Our aim is to help you to hit your goals, to help you to help more people and to amplify your impact at your clinic. How regularly do we review and adjust our strategic objectives? So actually looking at how regularly is this reviewed and adjusted, and I'd say every 3 to 6 months, we should be looking at reviewing and adjusting, because things change, okay? And do all team members understand and align with our long-term goals? This may be something that can be done in a short one-on-one meeting. We can do it as a team, but get really clear on how clear are your team on these long-term goals? Do they understand the role that they play and how important that is? And do they see the future there? Have they bought in? Are they aligned with what you're creating? with what you're building. And lastly, the last question, if you've made it this far, thank you very much. What measurable steps are we taking to achieve our vision for the future? So have we actually mapped out, we're here right now, we want to be here, and this step, and then this step, and then this step. It's kind of like creating a management plan or a treatment plan for a client that we're working with. We know where they are, we know where they want to be, and we break down, well, this is the first step, and the second step, and the third step. And that's why they come to work with you, to work with a professional, to be handheld, I guess, along the way, to have someone to support them, to keep them accountable. And we can help you with that too. So if you would like to get in contact with us, just drop us a comment below here, email me at peter@clinicmastery.com. We'd love to help you. We'd love to help you to build the clinic of your dreams, to build the life of your dreams, and to create that lifestyle empire. It's not about having a 10, 20, $30 million a year clinic. It's about having a clinic that you love working at, a team of people you love working with. It's about making a difference in the lives of the people in your community. All right, my friends, thank you very much for your time. It's been fantastic having you here. If you've made it this far, love it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.